Hello, welcome back to Cooking Haydens, and I'm Car Boot Chris, and we've got Bargain Bell here for our Monday night show. It's Reseller World. It's free for all week, which means that I will drop a link in and will invite resellers, friends, whatever, can come on and we can have a good old chinwag about whatever you want to talk about. And so just a quick introduction. I'm a full-time reseller. I buy and sell at boot sales, charity shops, online, wholesale, clothing, vintage stuff. Any old crap. And then I flip it online for a profit. So that's what I do. That's my full-time job. Annabelle helps me out now and again. And she does actually do some lists. I keep having to sort of change that because now you're kind of... Yeah, you're doing more, aren't you?
You want to carry on digging that hole?
So Annabelle helps out, and
lot.
she has a proper job, as they call it, a real job, as opposed to my unreal job. Anyway, that's the intro. I hope you're all doing well, and let's have a look who's in. I've got some shout outs to do in a bit before we kick off with some guests.
Before we open the floor.
Before we open up to Christ only knows what we're going to open ourselves up for. So let's see who's in.
Might not open ourselves up to anything.
Yeah,
you've
maybe.
got a backup plan.
No, I've got nothing. Seriously, this is my week off. It means I don't have to plan anything. So somebody best come on.
So this could go horribly wrong.
Catan says, yay, my favourite time of the week, exactly like waiting for going live to come on the weekend on a Saturday morning.
Yep.
And it is freezing. It's freezing here as well. You know what? We are forecast snow in Devon. Tomorrow, Thursday or Friday, we are forecast snow. If that happens, it will be like snowing.
If that happens, I'm going to get you to do a jig outside naked.
Oh, we're going sledging if that happens.
Yeah, we got our bum boards with us, didn't we?
Fuck knows where they are. Leanne's in. Hi, Leanne. We've got Dave Repairs. We've got Tori. Hi, Tori. We've got Damien. Hi, Damien. Hope you're doing okay. I've been enjoying your not new videos, but you know what I mean. You're back making videos, so there you go. Lana's in. Lana is going to be full-time reselling in just a couple of days. Yay. And the shit will hit the fan. No, it won't. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Good luck. You'll do great.
It will be fine. Bailey's in. Everyone's super early. Yes, they were very early. Dave. I've already said Dave, haven't I?
Right. Dave gets 2 shout outs.
Dave gets 2 shout outs. Yeah. Who else have we got? We've got Kev Smith, Carl Phillips. I always like to get to the bottom, don't we? Because we like to give everyone a shout who's early doors. Stu Mandry's turned up. Hi, Stu. We also have Jason, the reselling gamer, Entwistle. Evening all. Evening. We also have Chris Tyler. We've got Goat Jazz Gary.
He's multitasking. He's watching the Mighty Leeds as well as this wonderful show.
Is that your words or his?
That's
Oh,
his...
no, fair.
No, they were his words.
Right.
He's buttering us up.
Jason's watching while building Lego. Oh, Christ. Is that
Sounds
for
like
you? Are you just playing? Are you just having playtime? We've got Steve Jackson. Hi, Steve. Darren Hawkins is in. Mr. Diggs is here.
Loving all the little videos that he's putting in the movie chats.
I still swear blind that bit where you are sat on the bog is actually you having a poo. I didn't need to add that bit in, didn't I? Moni Mental's in. Hi, Andrew. I hope you're okay. We've got Trotters. We've got Aaron. Hello to you, Aaron. And
Howard Suitcase has come back for more.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, after I insulted him last week. I do apologise.
Clearly didn't scare him off.
Oliver Ian's in.
God, Oliver Ian used to be like at the top.
He's never first.
He's way down there now, isn't he?
He's got complacent with it all.
He's got his feet under the table and now doesn't need to respect us anymore.
Listen to you. Respect us. What? Sod off. Leslie Davis is in. Andrew is gutted. He's in the bath. He'll probably be on anyway, even if he's in the bath. I mean, you know. Green Bear Peaks. Hi. Oh, pants. Jumped. Your turn. I'll try and highlight.
We have Soul Steps. Is that a newbie? Soul Steps.
You have to be quick because there's loads. So you've got to go quick.
Saying, is that a newbie? Because we always look out for at least a newbie.
Soul Steps. That sounds very funky, doesn't
it? Let us know if you're a newbie. Don't recognise your name, or if you're one of our old ones that keep swapping the name, so we don't know who you are.
Oh, that's true.
Mr. Sprout has joined us. The Dave has joined us. John at YLM. JR Reselling. Hurricane Ian. Sarah Guy. Is that a new one? Sarah Guy?
Could be.
Phantom Scribe is with us. Brum Reseller is with us. Mondo Daft as a Brush is with us. The Bounty Hunter is with us. Hi, Chris and Belle, and hi, Chris and Belle, the Helper.
Yes,
that is my official title. Peter Ray is with us.
Hi, Peter.
A Long Story Short. Okay.
Hang on. Kitan says, thank you for sharing the first video of mine. I've had a boot. Oh, good. Thanks.
Brilliant.
No worries.
Yes.
A Long Story Short is Rob from New York.
Oh, hello. Nice.
You know Rob. You've seen him on several channels.
Oh, right. Okay.
He goes walking around everywhere with his selfie mode on, and he's super chatted us in the past as well.
Okay. I didn't say I didn't know him. Where are we up to? We got Mandy428. Is that a newbie?
I'm not even seeing Mandy.
2005. Mandy428.
Oh, hi. Hello. Welcome.
London.
Krillin. You might know him via Krillin.
That's what I had in my head. Okay, like I said, you don't need to keep going. Landon's Loft is with us. Blah 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 blah.
You've got to be there now.
Are we there?
Now.
Leslie Davis. It snowed in Atherton Gifford near Kingsbridge about 10 years ago, and the village was snowed in. That's how long it is since it snowed in near us. 10 years. I love Atherton Gifford. Ray the Disabled Picker is in. Left-handed Hummingbird.
Whoa, lots of people there.
Gary Nicholson is with us.
Hi, Gary.
Chris Ould is with us.
Hi,
Sue
Chris.
Robinson. Mandy Moo is joined us.
We're never going to catch up because it's
Aaron Tibbett has joined us. Gary Nicholson says, Belle needs an Oscar for the acting in your video, Chris. Or does she really do that when you give her the ironing? I know, I really do that. Aid Waldron has joined us. We're getting there. MG Barton.
We're done.
Oh, everyone's just saying hello now. Soul Step says newbie, vinyl seller, but going vintage recto clothes very soon.
Oh, interesting. Welcome anyway, yeah.
And And with it being our free-for-all, if you really fancy getting your
Really
face
wanna
out
come
there,
on?
come join us.
Come
We
on.
do encourage newbies to come on and say hello to everybody. We're not scary at all.
I think I've hit the bottom.
And Mandy says, yeah, I'm new. She subscribed a few days ago. So hello, Mandy. Nice to
welcome.
see you too.
Thanks
and
for
if you feel
subbing.
like joining us, you're welcome.
I've done it. I'm there. We're there. We've finished. Oh, we've done it in record time, 10 minutes.
Mondo says, are you bottling the snow to sell in summer?
Yes, so here we are. Let me do a couple of shout outs. I've got to get that out of the way before we bring anyone on. Been telling you for ages you've hit rock bottom. Oh, tell me about it.
What's Oliver Ian going on about? And the Razzie goes to Belle. What's a Razzie?
Razzie, is it an award, like it's an acting award, isn't it, or a shit acting award?
That's more likely. See, this is why I like to get the little things in about Oliver Ian, because I'm waiting through the chat. There's always something. There's always a little dig or a little go at me.
He just tries to be funny, doesn't he? And he fails most of the time. Yeah, okay. Let's just do a couple of shout outs and then I'm clear. Shit. There it is.
Shout outs.
Okay, so I've just got a couple of shout outs to do before we carry on. Of course, I'm going to give a shout out to our man Katan. He's released his first reselling video, and I enjoyed watching the haul. There was some interesting items that he's picked up in his clothing haul, especially an Team Olympics USA team. I think it was a hoodie, but it looked nice. That it'd be interesting to know what you list that for, Katan. And yeah, if you've not subbed to Katan, then it's click buy. You can search it. If you want to, or if there's someone in the chat who would like to drop a link to his channel, feel free to do so. Go and take a look, give him some support. First video out, at least go watch it, see what you think.
You said it was a Team
Subscribe.
USA.
Team USA, that's it.
And can I just say, literally before we came on, I just said to Chris, you know, you have an image of how somebody's going to look, and that brief little picture we've got of you on there, you look nothing like that. That was quite surprising.
Is that a good thing or bad thing? Good thing. Say good thing. Say good thing.
No, I don't know what you mean by a good thing or a bad thing. It's just
well, what did you have in your mind?
I don't know. But just, yeah, I was quite surprised when I saw you. But you're a handsome sucker, aren't you?
Here we go. Right. So yeah, go and check out click buy. Oh, it's not click buy, is it? It's click buy.
Steve Jackson says, Chris, you should do a new VT with you playing the drums.
No. That was terrible. That was literally, I'm looking at the wrong camera. We're on that one today, not that one. We're on that one, by the way, if you want to look at the camera. So no, we're not doing that. Those drum sessions were terrible. Shout out to Flipping Sloth Jay, who invited me on his channel yesterday. Very enjoyable chat, a good 2-hour chat. It was a bit of an epic, but it was very enjoyable. So thank you very much, Jay, for having me on. Thanks for the invite. Always nice to be invited. And yeah, we'll do it again soon, I'm sure. So thank you. And if you want to go and check out Flipping Sloth's channel, then just search for Flipping Sloth. There's not many of them. And the last shout out, I'm going to need to do a quick screen share on this one, goes to Red Reseller 86 on Instagram. And you might have seen it on Instagram, but I feel like they spent some time doing this, and I think it deserves a shout out. So I'm going to just quickly share the screen here. So here's what Red Reseller 86 did. So I uploaded a picture that I was using on Depop because they like models, and obviously I'm kind of model material. So, what are you laughing at?
Sorry. Carry on.
Look at that. It don't get much better than that.
I know.
If that doesn't sell the jacket,
I am so proud to say that's my husband.
So I uploaded that first, and people were commenting, you know, like they do. Oh, Chris, you look like a kid's football coach stood on the sideline. And then someone else said, oh, you should be out training the team or something. So I don't know that one. So then I uploaded a slightly different one because I liked the sort of image behind it. And then Red Reseller 86 decided to Photoshop me based on the comments into this. If you can't see me there, he put me there coaching the team, the Seattle Sounders. And I just think that's brilliant.
But the pose just fits perfect. That's what I love about it.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
So very, you know, big up to you for doing that. That's a cracker.
Oh,
well done.
Made me cry. A long story short, has just said, did the Sounders jacket have the Xbox sponsor logo? And bless him, is he he's super chatting us to prove a point.
Thank you, Rob.
Sorry.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Yes, on the back, Robert, it's got the Xbox logo on the back. Thank you again. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that.
It's very kind. What was I going to say? Mondoed After the Brush has said, what's the low calorie black liquid of choice today?
What's the what?
What's your your low calorie black liquid of choice?
Just Diet Coke.
It's boring today.
Oh, we'll talk about the what do you call it? The diet keto. We'll talk about that in a minute, actually.
Dave Repairs has commented on your fruit machine that was in that drums video. Yes, we did have a fruit machine in our old house. And Chris used to love the fact that he literally he charged people to use it.
Of course I did.
And then he'd empty it. It was like a little piggy bank for him.
And, you know, on fruit machines, Dave will know this because he's like into all that. You can set the chances of winning to either like a high chance of winning or a much lower chance of winning. So I set it to a lower chance of winning so that no one ever won on it.
It's funny. Tori has kindly added Catan's link in there to his channel, and he's got a few subs looking at this already.
Oh, nice one.
Oh, Catan says that people say he looks like a crackhead. You don't look like a crackhead. That's
no.
Mean. That's mean.
Sarah says you'll be the new Bernie Sanders meme. I don't know what that is, Sarah. I'm not sure. Oh, is that the guy with the mask on that's getting put on all the pictures? I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Stu Mandry says, to be fair, the photo looks like when coppers go plain clothes to blend in with the crowd and still stand out. It's probably
That's
not far off there. Oh, Steve Brano's in. Hi, Steve. Welcome. This is a football soccer club with YouTube as their sponsor. Oh, is the Seattle Sounders got YouTube now as their sponsor? I didn't know that. I thought they would. I've not watched the Sounders for a while. I used to watch MLS a lot, and I still watch New York City, NYCFC. You might know them, being from New York. I do watch them because they're kind of a second team because they're linked to Manchester City, which are my first team. But yeah, I didn't know that YouTube were their sponsors. It's the Mittens man that pops up everywhere.
I don't know who the Mittens
No, I'm not sure.
is.
I don't think I've seen that, Sarah.
Darren says, I think it's LAFC that have YouTube as a sponsor.
Right.
Have you ever take it? You put it up for sale, that jacket?
Yeah, it's on Depop and eBay.
And
I think I put it up for about 50.
And you modelling it hasn't sold it yet.
No. I might have to take my face off it, to be fair. I thought it'd just fly out me. I thought, look at that guy wearing that jacket. That is going to fly.
Oh,
you could be right, Darren. You've got good knowledge on the old sports teams over there. It's been I haven't really watched any MLS this season because everything's been so disjointed with the football and sports. I've not really had time to tune into any of it or the will to tune in. Joe Closet Geeks just popped in. Hi, Joe. A long story. Rob says Sounders have Xbox. YouTube sponsor LAFC, not Galaxy. Oh, right. Okay. But in the keyword title, you should put Xbox.
Did you?
I'm not sure, actually. I'm going to check that. I probably didn't, but I will do if I haven't done. Let me just have a quick look. This is very unprofessional, isn't it?
It is very unprofessional. This isn't a come list with me.
Shut up. Sounders. I didn't, Rob, and I'm going to do it. Oh, no, I did.
What?
I don't know.
What
I don't know why I did that.
your face at me for?
I don't know. No, I did. The title is Adidas Seattle Sounders 2010 MLS jacket coat, windbreaker, full zip, Xbox 360 large. And it's only 40 quid. It's a bloody bargain, that. Someone get on it. Jesus. Okay. Kieran's popped in. Hi, Kieran. Kieran Bradbury. Are you? Is Kieran Bradbury new?
I don't recognise Kieran
Are you a
Bradbury.
newbie?
Are you a newbie too?
Welcome anyway. Welcome to the chat.
Steve says he's been modelling for Lana and we've not sold any of the items either. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Depop have just said they want people to model the clothes just so that people can have a good laugh.
I know. To be fair, what I might do is just cut my head off. That might help.
Is that a bit like when you asked me to cut your hair? You want me to not cut your head off?
I'll just chop my head off because who wants to see that anyway? Oh, Flipping Sloth is here. Hi, Jay. I did give you a shout out before. You might have missed it.
Kieran he's new, started reselling this year.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
Well, stay in the chat and listen, and we'll get some people on. Well, I was going to say super experienced, but to be honest, probably not.
It took me a moment then to think of how long he'd been reselling for. And I'm like, we're only just into February, aren't we? This year feels like it's already gone on forever.
Yeah.
Yes, well, good luck in your reselling journey. I hope you join us for many more chats.
Lana says, are you all modelling shorts next week inspired by Monumental? You'll not see me modelling in a pair of shorts, I'll tell you that. No chance.
Mandy Gregory has joined
Imagine
us.
Andrew modelling shorts with those knobbly knees. Not that I've ever seen his knees, but I assume they're knobbly.
How
I have.
How have you not seen his knees? He puts them on Facebook in the bath constantly.
Yes, that's why I knew they were mobbly.
Mobbly?
Mobbly? What is it again? Knobbly.
Knobbly.
Yeah, no worries, Jay. No worries.
Mandy Gregory has joined us.
Hi,
Hello,
Mandy.
Kieran says, currently trying to connect an N64 through an aerial.
Aerials, what are they? Bloody hell.
And I'm lost. I struggle to plug an iPhone charger in, let alone anything that's complicated like that.
Right, I think we need to share. Oh, shit. No, not that. Oh, there we go. Invite. Right, we'll copy that. And if copy to clipboard, why didn't I just press that? And if anyone wants to pop on, feel free to utilize the link. Rob, the long story short, says sponsors matter. The Newcastle football jersey sells better with brown ale than. Yeah, definitely, I agree. The same goes because I sell a lot of cycling jerseys. You may or may not know. A lot of people know about that. But yeah, if there's a really good sponsor on the jersey, it's really important to put it on. Things like Sony, Sky. Sky's a big one, and any sort of interesting companies, big companies.
See, fantastic chat are doing it already. Dave is giving Kieran some advice with his analog tuning.
Sorry, I was going to put the thingamajig in, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see if anyone wants to pop on, and we'll have a good old chin.
We have a wealth of knowledge
Not us.
I was
What,
back,
the chat?
I hadn't finished in our chat and our followers.
Don't listen to what we say.
So if you're a newbie or just starting up and you've got any queries or concerns or questions, then put them in the chat. There is always somebody, if we can't answer, there's always somebody in there that can give you some advice or help you along.
How does everyone like my new jumper, which just arrived in the postal today? I thought I'd better treat myself to a new jumper because literally everybody is moaning, saying that I wear the same jumpers every single day.
Yeah, I wear that high-tech one like constantly.
Yeah. Here he is, the man himself.
Hello.
Ooh.
How you both?
No knobbly knees on show.
No, just the Superman logo.
Just
today.
Superman.
Oh.
Are you at your office come storage?
I am at the HQ, yes.
I was gonna say, it looks like he's sat in the wardrobe.
I think you need to give us a tour, Andrew.
Well, it's a bit.
Oh, you're on a wire.
But
give us a tour. Let's have a look.
I listed clothing stock.
Nice rails, yeah.
There's the photography studio thing. Over there.
Oh, like the skirt things, you mean?
Where's my laptop? Hang on. I wonder if I can turn this round.
Is that soundproofing on the ceiling? Oh,
We've
lost him. Bye, Andrew.
Hello, goodbye.
So Sue says that she loves your top. She said her son would do anyway. Kieran's got no idea how he's tuning the TV in.
Nah.
The buttons don't work. Here is a massive pile I'm working through at the minute.
Right.
Is your head like nearly to the ceiling? Because it looks quite low.
No,
there's loads of room
no,
there.
it's just the angle.
Yeah. Down there's the backlog, but I'm going down there at the minute.
That looks like the charity you used to. It looks like their warehouse.
It does, doesn't it? There's a lot of stuff in there, mate. Anyway, we knew that you had a lot of stuff.
Not as much as I used to, though. I'm working through the backlog at the minute because sales are slow, so I'm not buying. There we go.
If you had to take a hazard a guess, if you didn't buy anything else, how long do you think it would sell? It would take you to list all that stuff you've got. If you had to do months.
Yeah.
I was like years.
Yeah, no, only a few months. A lot of it's stuff for Car Boot and Facebook and stuff. It's not for eBay.
Ah, right. So do you have it like in sections then?
That is the eventual intention. I haven't got that far yet. I still need to sort through and organise some of it. As I pull stuff out of a box, I sort it out then.
I have to say, I'm quite impressed with his clothes rails.
It's a good idea. That if you've got the space, that's a great idea. Much better than folding it up.
It makes it quick to find stuff when it sells.
Yeah, yeah. Rob says, curious, is vintage Lance Armstrong type items popular or not? Well, I've sold. I was on Peter the Vinegar Jar's chat this morning, and he was listing something that had Lance Armstrong on it, a cycling jersey, and I've sold quite a few. In fact, pretty much every Lance Armstrong top that I've had cycling wise always sells, and he has the brand Live Strong. And that's what you should look for. If you've got Live Strong, use it in the title. Definitely sells.
Bless Tori says, Andrew, you've come a long way in a short space of time.
Yes, it's thank you for that, Tori. It's been a lot of hard work. Now I just need to maintain it, really.
Yeah.
Sarah Guy says she wishes she had that much space.
She's more than welcome to come here and visit it.
She's working out of a freezing attic.
How are you both then?
We're good, thanks. Yeah, we're all right.
Yeah, we're here. We're plodding like everybody else in the world is doing at the moment, I think.
How are your sales doing?
I've had a decent weekend, to be fair. I've had an all right weekend. I know yours hasn't been amazing, but it's weird because, like, a couple of weeks ago, people were having amazing weekends or days, and I was having a shit time. So it's like, you know, it goes all over the show, doesn't it? There's no bloody...
I did have a good day yesterday. Yesterday was good. Today's gone back to being crap. It's like weird. Just goes up and down.
It does. It's so sort of unpredictable, isn't it?
I knew somebody would clock it.
What?
Howard's suitcase has Belle got PJ bottoms on.
Yes, she has.
It's this stupid wide lens he puts us on. It means that you get to see me legs. Yes, I have snowman pajamas on.
Him having a proper good look.
Ain't gonna cover them up. Look, it's bedtime, okay? Anytime from 6 o'clock onwards is bedtime to me.
Kieran says, "Can I ask how many items you guys have listed? How many listings do you have, Andrew?"
I am just checking now. It's 1,000 and something. 1,030.
It's bloody good going, that. I've got 1,750 as of today, I think. But when you think, like, Andrew is part-time, has, you know, a
full-time job,
reasonably demanding job making brews for the government. I can't, you know, you can't knock him because he works bloody hard at it.
Yeah.
What do I make?
Oh, sandwiches as well, by the looks of it.
Brews and sandwiches.
Scott D has joined us. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, Scott.
Howard says he's just admiring the legs. You were trying to admire them until you noticed they were purple with snowmen.
And Husty's Emporium is in as well. And Chaz Flips stuff. Hang on a minute, Chaz Flip stuff. Who's this again? Is this Guns OG?
I don't know.
Andrew normally knows because he's got this memory that like no other.
I have not a clue. I haven't been on YouTube much of late. But yeah, I believe it's Guns OG.
I think it is. Bailey says, "What hours do you work on eBay outside your work, Andrew?"
It depends how many hours I'm having to work on my actual work. Sometimes it can be just an hour or two doing shipping. Sometimes it can be 4 or 5. Today's my day off, and I've still only done about 3 hours.
Take it easy. At the end of the day, you do have a full-time job to fall back on. So it's like you should be careful you don't flog yourself too much.
Exactly.
I suppose at the moment, while we're kind of limited to where we can go, it's a case of you might as well spend your time trying to make some money, aren't you? And then you can go spend it all when we're all free to, like, run wild.
I can't go to the pub, so might as well just list stuff on eBay.
Exactly.
I've been rearranging the office. This isn't how it looked last week. This is totally different. So that took most of the weekend.
I mean, the thing is, what would the alternative be if you were not doing your listing? You'd just be sat watching telly.
I'd be watching YouTube.
You'd be watching us
on YouTube.
But that's what I'm saying. It's, you know, it's, even though you don't want to flog yourself to death, it's also a constructive way of spending your time while we're stuck inside, isn't it?
Exactly. And it's, you know,
stops your brain from running wild.
It's less stressful than the day job.
Mondo says, "Have you got a pension in place for the future? Is it bottom of resellers lists?" I think it is kind of quite low on the list, although it shouldn't be. I do remember doing a live show a few weeks back. What was the title of it? But it was, I don't know, but we were talking about all the things. Oh, it was something like what worries you as a reseller or something. And yeah, one of the things I brought up was about pensions and how many of us actually have a private pension or put into something for the future. I don't currently have a private pension. but I do have a part pension to come from the police when I work for the cops, and that will be a fairly decent pension come, and I'll get it earlier than what I would like state pension. So when I'm 60,
you get it in. I was going to say, do you get it in 10 years then?
not far off. When I'm 60, I will get probably like half a full-time wage as a pension, as it stands now. But yeah, so that's something to think about. But I am looking at kind of little bits of investments and stuff. I've invested a little bit in certain things. But
we have this conversation constantly, all right, because Chris has more pots to piss in than I don't know, right? And half of them, I don't even know what they are, where they are, or how to find them. So all I keep saying is, if he goes out tomorrow and gets run over, I wouldn't have a clue. Okay, he's very savvy when it comes to money.
He's secretly a millionaire, I've heard.
Do you know, I've said this so many times. He just seems to like materialize money out of thin air. I do think he won the lottery at some point. He's just not told me.
it is Gunzo G, by the way.
It is.
Sarah says she misses the pub. We don't go to the pub that often.
When the pubs reopen, I'll take Sarah there.
Along with the 25 other women you've probably given that offer to so far as well.
Probably higher than that now.
So that place, that little storage unit you've got, it'll be the Playboy Mansion when lockdown's over.
Might get a couple of sofas now. I've got the room.
Get a bed in there. JR Reselling's just in the background. I'll bring you on now.
Rusty and Porrington said they're going to stop when they drop no pension for them.
Good evening.
Hello. Hiya.
Hello.
How are you doing, guys?
How you doing?
Well, I heard the word full-time and reselling, so that kind of fits my little category as well. So I'll come say hello.
Nice one. Do you want to like give yourself an introduction for anybody who doesn't know who you are?
Of course. So I'm kind of new to YouTube. Did my first video at the end of December, and I've been doing reselling since August in 2021. I'm not even there yet. 2020. and I came across it really as a bit of a banter for my friends. I was getting my garden done summer, and I had some slabs in my garden that I needed shifting. And the gardener said, "Oh, why don't you shove it on eBay?" And then I said to the lads, because I work at home at the moment, lockdown. I've been working from home since March. I said, "Oh, I'm going to see if I can make a grand thing," and I did it in 8 weeks, and I've just been hooked on reselling ever since. And everything behind me and my business, and it's all started from nothing. So it's like a gamble, but it's a fun, loving it. It's a brilliant journey so far.
It's only a gamble if you've put your own money into it. If you started off slowly, like, and just selling your own stuff, and you've built your sort of monetary side up, then.
Yeah, but it's also a gamble, as in, like, if you were quit your job or something, it's a big gamble, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely a big gamble. But if you're only part-time, then it's not a gamble, is it? It's just an added bonus.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, I'm full-time, and I just do it on the side. My plan is I'm looking to go part-time and then eventually full. I've just, for me, it's I don't know. It's so much negativity with the C word going on at the moment that I've used it as another lifestyle, and it depends on to me what I've learned watching other full-time resellers and people that do it. You're never going to be a millionaire, but the one thing you get is so much time. You've got children, like I've got a 3-year-old daughter. I'm going to be able to take her to school, drop her off, and it's going to allow me to never miss them moments. Where my wife, she's a teacher, so obviously that flexibility and it's perfect. Absolutely love it. It's an amazing.
So what have your mates said then, seeing as it started off as a bit of banter?
When I was showing them some numbers that I was getting the other week when that was announced, because I'm pretty much mad on Wheeze. I love selling Whee bundles and stuff like that. That I was pretty much my wage that I currently take in, and they were just like, "Wow!" But they weren't envious. They were just really proud. I think my friends were like, we're just genuinely proud of me. They're just, you know, and as you said there, you've got to put the hard work in. It doesn't come in. It's not like as if someone goes, here you go, there's £1,000 a month for you. But if I was to tell someone, you know, who's just listening to us for the first time, right, if you go and put 2 hours every single year, you learn about Facebook, you just put 2 hours in Monday to Friday and a couple of hours on the weekend, and you could guarantee a grand. Who wouldn't say no to £1,000? Yeah.
Exactly.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people out there that, like you said, just think this is easy, and just giving those 2 hours up is too much like hard work, which is crazy. It really is.
I mean, when I first started, like when I was part-time at first, I was just doing it to kind of pay for like a holiday or two a year. And if I could have paid for that, then I was happy. And then it kind of, you just realize that actually you can make a lot more the more hours you put in, the more you can make. And it's mad, really. Have you found YouTube to be a really good source of information? Have you learned a lot from different YouTubers?
Yeah. So from working from home, because I work as a broker and I do any form of business insurance. So with lockdown, because I sell a lot of shops packages for hairdressers, bakeries, because they weren't trading, they just weren't looking for insurance. And on the sly, I had my work computer and my personal computer, and I must have binge watched 200, 300 hours worth of. To me, watching that is very much like if you went to do a course in university or you went to do
absolutely,
anywhere. Yeah, that's what it is. Watching YouTube is like is learning trade, because if you watch and the biggest tip for me, anyone who wants to learn, subscribe to everyone, not one person. Yeah. Everyone, even if they do the same thing like clothing, people will list it different. People will fall to it different, you know. And it's so interesting. Everyone's journeys are just incredible. Like,
everyone's got something different to offer, haven't they?
Even if it's just alcohol.
Yeah, but Andrew, you're like our little scapegoat at the end of the week when everyone's had enough of reselling. So you're like our little outlet. Yeah.
That's usually when I've had enough of it as well.
What is it?
He said definitely when he's had enough of it as well. Oh, well, I hope it continues to grow and goes in the direction you want it to then, but it sounds like you're off to a fantastic start.
So is it I can see games behind you. So you said that you like selling Wiis and stuff. Is it mainly gaming that you focus on?
Yes and no. I found that because I've sold all my life, I kind of very myself in a mindset, and when the 1st of January kicked out, I put a lot of ads on Facebook Marketplace and asking a lot of groups and local groups saying, if you're having a clear out of Wii consoles or bundles, I'll pay. And I think one thing that a lot of people don't do, they say looking for this, looking for that. I was really ruthless. I put £30 to £40 so that people who wanted £100 for a console weren't going to message me, but those that just wanted rid.
Yeah.
For me, I had enough stock that's lasted me 2 months, and I've still got 7 consoles still left from what I picked up between then and lockdown.
No, that's great. A lot of people do that. A lot of people put ads out, you know, offering to buy. Brum Reseller John says he might contact you about shop insurance.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something you do, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Shop insurance is something he wants to look at. I can definitely sort him out a price for him. And the one thing he's got to be careful of, or anyone who's getting shop insurance at the moment, is that if you're not trading and you get a price, the like you took the time to read what you call a policy wording document, which would probably be about 100 pages long. A lot of them will have endorsements or exclude cover for people that are not trading more than 30 days. If anyone, I don't get commission, but if you do want a quote, make sure you go with a company that is flexible with that. At the moment, Zurich is a company that I would recommend anyone goes to as a shop. Because they don't put or restrict cover. Which
That's interesting.
Good if you get broken in and you're not going to get a payout.
You'd think that, like, with everything going on, insurance companies obviously must know that there's shops everywhere closed. So surely there's got to be some flexibility in that. No, that's crazy. So what? Or at least they should be at least writing to all their customers to say, "Do you realise X, Y, Z?" Do they not do that?
But the customers also have the responsibility to tell them that they're closed for more than 30 days. That's part of their policy.
Right.
So
that seems really harsh.
How can it? So if you take Allianz as an example, how can they contact X amount of customers that they have? I don't know. Maybe they supply 10%, 20% of UK stores, and then their call centers are not even that. It becomes near on impossible. So it's not that insurance companies won't cover, by the way. The insurance companies are doing a lot. It's just that you have to understand how things work to get out of it.
Yeah.
Most insurance companies are informed, but a lot of them will only give you 30 days cover. So what I mean by cover is they'll still cover you, but they'll restrict that cover.
Yeah.
So if you have if you're broken into and you're not informing your insurance company, and you have all your T-shirts and all your stock that you're selling, say you're a reseller. So let's use Brum's store, who's got vinyls and records. If he got broken into and he didn't inform his insurance company after 30 days, he just wouldn't be covered. But there are insurance companies, as I mentioned, Zurich, who don't put a timescale on it. So what he can do is he wants insurance in place. The likelihood of him ever getting broken into is next to nothing. Like, it's not like as if he's selling diamonds or the people that are going to ever get broken into, is sadly shops that sell Smirnoff and vodka and that type of thing. They're because vodka and Smirnoff just sells anywhere, and cigarettes, they're the big thing that people will stick. It's easy to just sell, move on.
So Andrew,
sorry to be negative and doom and gloom, but
no, it's fine. It's good to put these things out there.
So Andrew's safe unless he's storing his cider in there.
Oh, I'm fully insured here. Fully insured and here every day.
Night's Life has joined us and he says, "Hi, Chris, Bell, Andrew, I'm Newbie."
Tori says,
to be.
Tori says she used to binge watch YouTube for 6 months prior to setting up her little business.
Like I said, it's research, isn't it? You research any sort of job opportunity you want to do, and this is how you research reselling.
Yeah, why not?
I still go on YouTube now and watch videos about stuff I'm interested in selling to learn a bit more about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all do, really. I mean, we all sort of subscribe to people and watch content as and when it comes up or when we've got time. But also, I think Andrew made a good point. When you're thinking about doing something new, for example, you know, maybe when Andrew decided to sell skirt things, maybe he started searching skirts.
I know more about vintage skirts now than I ever thought I would.
Kieran's given us an update. He said he's got his N64 sorted.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Nice one, bud. I can genuinely say YouTube is quite incredible. When I was in India, we had a scenario where we were speaking to a guy who had a house, and I said, "Oh, could I borrow your bike tomorrow?" Because I wanted to go up to the mountain with my girlfriend at the time, who was now my wife. And he was like, "Yeah, no problem, no problem." And he lent us his motorbike. It was a complete misunderstanding. And I watched YouTube for 2 hours, and I self-taught myself how to ride a motorbike. So,
no way.
I drove a car, so I understood work and the gears work. But yeah, I self-taught myself how to ride a motorbike in 2 hours by watching YouTube. I just watched CBT videos, how to do that, and then explain it.
I don't think there's anything. Chris will YouTube a problem till he cannot find an answer before he'll pay to have anything done.
Yeah,
he will literally literally scour YouTube to see whether it's something he can do himself cheaply before he'll go anywhere to pay to have something done. And 9 out of 10 times you can, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's always tutorials, isn't there?
That's how
Just
I
gonna
nearly
go and
blew
get.
up my house.
Want me to disappear?
Go on, Andrew.
That's how I nearly blew up my house trying to work out how to fix the boiler.
Yeah. I've Googled the boiler stuff before now, and I know you can't touch it, but only small issues, small problems.
Yeah, like
easy
the
things.
boiler wasn't working. There was no
Oh.
heat coming out of it, so I thought, well, I'll have a look on YouTube, see what I need to do. I ended up cocking it up more than anything.
And there's always that risk, isn't there? Sarah says, I was reselling for years before I even knew there was a community on YouTube. I thought I was just strange with my weird hobby of car boots and buying tat.
No, there's a lot of strange people out there, Sarah.
Oh,
You're
God,
not
yeah.
alone.
I know.
And now she's a cultist.
Yeah, I was going to say we're like an alien planet of our own.
I do miss going to car boots. I think
Oh,
I'll
I
get a
do.
few more car boots this year.
People are saying you should have mentioned to JR. JR, your sound's a little bit hit and miss.
I think he's used. Are you on mobile?
Yeah, I can go upstairs or I can go on my laptop. What do you think?
It's up to you.
I've just noticed a few people commenting, saying that I think they're not quite catching everything you're saying.
I think it's probably because he's on mobile. It's not as good on mobile.
I can come out. I can go on my laptop upstairs. So I'll vanish. I'll reconnect. So
I'll stick the thing back in the chat. I'll put the link back in.
Yeah, it's just because a few people had commented. So, yeah. And it's one thing with us. I don't know if it's any worse for other people that are watching.
Did you ask what the JR stands for?
No, not yet.
Did you ask his name?
No.
We're doing well here at the interviewing. This is going well.
I'm not interviewing. It's just an informal chat.
And have you seen what happens when Chris questions people about their chat names? He gets himself into trouble constantly.
I know, yeah. She keeps telling me afterwards, don't ask people what their names are. We'll ask him when he comes back on.
Bailey said Retro Jamie did a great video about clothing labels yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watched that one.
You watched it?
I watch a lot of Retro Jamie. He has a lot of good content.
I've been reselling for ages now, and it was a lonely road to start. And now it's much better now to have like-minded people that get it. Yeah, there's a big community. Even just a couple of years ago, when I first sort of discovered the YouTube sort of community, it was nowhere near the size that it is now. It's grown. It's massive now. You look at all the different Facebook groups and different YouTubers that are coming up. It's just huge.
There's only one. There's only one YouTuber that people need, though.
Cookie in the
Hay. Brum Reseller says that he watched people doing driving lessons on YouTube for hours when he was learning, and he passed first time.
Bloody hell, that's mental.
But like JR said, it's no different than what the kids are doing in uni currently, which is they're learning everything by watching tutorials online because they can't physically go into uni. So what's the difference?
Cola Flipper says that he's taken walls down in his house from watching YouTube. Also learned to repressurize the boiler. I learned that from YouTube as well when I first got my house.
That's what I was trying to do when I blew it up.
You were trying to repressurize. You're meant to stop when it's in the green. You don't just keep filling it up.
There's
oil
what's
changes.
the point of having a red line if you're not going to hit the red line? It's like when you're changing gear in a car, isn't it? You do it at the red line.
Now we've got people saying, is his name James or John? We've got a couple of people saying James.
He's done
I'm going to go Jack.
Jack.
I'll say Jimmy.
That is James, technically.
No, it's not.
Jimmy is James.
It can be separate. Let me put the link back in so that you can. If anyone else wants to pop on, feel free. We can.
Has JR got a link that somebody can post to his channel? Has he got a channel? Did he say?
Yeah, if someone wants to share his link, that's fine.
Leon says he's JR's just bought a disc resurfacing machine and there's a video about it.
There's a few people have picked them up this week, isn't there?
I've got one of those that I've had for a couple of months now that I still have to remove from the box.
Well, you've got one, have you?
Yeah. I need to set
That Easy Pro, is it?
Yeah. I need to find where my discs are that need resurfacing because I've got hundreds of them, but I don't know where I put them.
So he's got the machine, but he can't find the discs.
Yeah. So I've got like quite a few games that need resurfacing, but Christ knows where they are.
Be a nice surprise when you find them.
There's only about 300. There's only about 300 of them.
Ooh.
Husty's Emporium says, "Do I need StreamYard?" No, you don't. You just need to use. I think it's Chrome you're best using when you want to come on. It works best on Chrome.
I'm on Safari.
Guessing JR. Someone's got Jack Ryan. Someone's got
Jack Ryan.
Someone's got Jeremy. But there's definitely a few people saying James.
Andrew, you need to put that knife somewhere safe, please, because if you end up tripping over and
I've just cut myself with it.
Brum says it's JR Hartley.
JR Hartley, fly fishing. We've got another newbie coming in. We've got Kieran Bradbury. Hello.
How's it going, guys? You all right?
Hello, Kieran.
Thanks for having us on.
No, welcome.
You're very brave. I think you're like the quickest newbie that has ever joined us.
So, yeah, I've been on a couple of other guys have had me on, like Sam sells stuff. He's had me on.
Oh, okay.
And Ricky had me on once. John Luke had me on.
Right. So you've already broke that seal of entering the world of YouTube then.
Yeah, a little bit.
Basically, you're like about 15th, 16th on the list there, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
I watch you guys all the time. I didn't know when you did your lives, and I'm just listening and I come on and I thought I'd jump on and take the opportunity to introduce myself, say hello.
Yeah,
So
do you want to give yourself an introduction then? Tell us what you do.
Sorry?
Do you want to do an introduction and tell everyone what kind of stuff you do and that?
My name's Kieran. I'm a part-time reseller. I work a full-time job while doing this stuff. I started on Boxing Day because I was bored with being in lockdown and going into lockdown.
Boxing Day, you know.
Yeah, it was the day after Boxing Day. Yeah. I invested £500 of my own money just from savings to have a crack at it with stuff from the house. So I like suits and stuff that I got behind me. I'm a bit of a geeky collector anyway, so I have plenty of stuff to sell. Yeah, and I just hit £5,200 by the end of January. So in my first month.
That's fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah, I did a video about that, so that went pretty well. Still don't have a lot of subscribers though, so if anyone wants to jump on and give me a like, I'd be appreciative of that.
What's your channel name?
Just Kieran Bradbury at the moment. I haven't created any. I haven't started like whether I'm going to be resells or collects or whatever one seems to go for. I'm trying to find something clever. And until that, I'm just going to get myself.
One of our spanners to find Kieran and
someone want to find his channel and put it in.
Yeah, I'm not very good with the whole putting the links in yet. I'm working on it.
I think the links can only go in by spanners anyway. I don't think you can just drop links in the chat. I think we've had this before. We've got plenty of spanners, so don't worry about it.
Trust me. There's plenty of spanners in the chat.
Yeah, you guys have not groomed up and back to mess. Sorry, Andy,
you're not groomed up. Don't worry about it unless you want a haircut like Chris's and you want me to come and do it.
And did you hear what Andrew just said then? He said, I can't believe you call all your loyal, I don't know, I can't remember what he said, but all your loyal admins, spanners.
They know it's an endearing term from us.
So, Kieran, looking at what's behind you, you've got a lot of gaming stuff.
Yeah,
is that maybe what you focus on?
Yeah, mainly. I'll be honest. Gaming got me pretty much into it. So I sold off all my old Xbox games. Like we was only playing 2 or 3 games between me and my mates. So we basically I started by selling all that sort of stuff off first and buying games. I realized that Call of Duty flipped well, Mario Kart flipped well, and I basically went around and picked all them up first and just sort of buying them really as cheap as I possibly could and turning them over as fast as I could. I think I've done 14 copies of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 in a month. So, yeah. That's just on Xbox. So, there's PS4. You can get it on a lot of different platforms.
Is that the one that I sold of Cameron's? Because both my sons are into the gaming, and I'm pretty sure it was the Black Ops one he asked me to eBay for him a while back, and it literally went within like minutes of me putting it up.
Everyone I have listed has sold the next day. So, or I've woke up basically. I do most of my listing at night when my daughter's asleep and I'm not working. So I go usually from any time from about 7 till about midnight usually. So, and then I have to be back up in the morning. So, yeah.
Have you got like ambitions to be full time at reselling, or?
Yeah, ideally. My job offers me a lot of flexibility. I work from home the majority of the time anyway. So it does offer me a lot of flexibility, but eventually, I do want to be full time. So it can, where there's flexibility, there's also restrictions. Like it can take me abroad, it can take me on basically a traveling salesman normally when COVID's not about. So there's a lot of restrictions with my job. I kind of want to be a family man and be back at home a bit more rather than being out of town all the time. So I've got a young daughter of 1, so just moved to being a father, and kind of luckily it's all been during COVID, so I've been at home for most of it anyway.
So just curious then, because obviously you only started on Boxing Day. Had you been looking at any sort of starting reselling prior to Boxing Day? I'm assuming you didn't just wake up on Boxing Day and go, I know, let's start reselling.
No, so what I've been doing is I've been watching everyone's videos, I'll be honest. I watch your videos, watch Andrew's videos, JR, everyone really. So JR pretty much started like a few months before me, so he had a lot of starting tips and everything like that. Here he is back again. I've just done a ton of research basically. I've sold stuff on the internet before, here and there, so I sort of knew how eBay worked. My partner runs a business online, so I've helped her with certain aspects of it. So it's just something else I was looking to do to, like, take me away from the working day and go full time eventually. That's sort of good.
Nice one.
And as JR said before, once you've stepped into this world, it's really hard to step out because it does become addictive.
Oh, very addictive. Very, very addictive.
As Chris has said, there isn't any barriers with how much you can earn. The more you list, the more you earn. You find a good genre of item to list. It's the sky's the limit really with it.
Yeah, I'm currently pushing for 35 listings a day because that'll give me 1,000 listings by the end of the month.
That's a lot. That's good going.
That's really good.
That's more than he does.
That's more than me. I tell you what.
Take note. All right.
I'm just trying to catch up.
My main barrier is laziness.
I think that's everyone's though, to be fair. I think motivation, and I don't think the weather in the UK is exactly helping or giving us encouragement at the moment, sadly.
Probably not. No.
Can we just point something out here? You've got 3 part-time resellers, and you was the one who came up with the laziness excuse, and you're full-time.
I know.
That doesn't work.
There's no room for laziness here, Chris.
There isn't.
Yeah.
I know.
That's what it's like, though. It's like when it's your full-time job, you get lazy, don't you? It's like us being at work. We're probably lazier at work than we are doing this stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Speak for yourself. I watch hours and hours of YouTube. Come on, give over.
We've got Peter.
It's Sir Pete.
How's it going? You all right?
My hero.
Oh, Sir Pete. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. It's just started in the last few weeks. I keep being called Sir Pete.
I think I started it in January, Pete, to be fair. And every single chat, I've kept it Sir Pete, and see if you've clocked it.
Oh, yeah. One day, who knows? It might be a reality.
Welcome on, Peter.
How's it going?
Let me just read out this comment because I've had it up for ages. Bolo Fines says, I'm a new full-time reseller, finding it hard to give myself a work-life balance. Any tips? Well, from me, and then I'll let anyone else answer it, but I try to do, and I've said this quite a lot, I try to have a Monday to Friday head-on when I do reselling. I try to do like office hours, if you like, as much as possible, so that my evenings are free and my weekends are free. When it comes to weekends, I tend to sell similar on old listings. I do like maybe 30 or 40 a day old listings, end them, sell similar, and that means that I get my weekends to ourselves. Not that she's that asked about it anyway.
Yeah, don't take that as set in stone, because he does also spend a lot of time answering. No, I was going to say, because you still have to answer your queries, don't you? You have to reply to people. There's still stuff that you have to do, but it's stuff you can be done remotely, so we can still go out.
Yeah, we can do. You can still work, and even into the evening, you know, I might be looking for stock and stuff. But I just say generally, I'm sat here in my office Monday to Friday doing the work, and then the rest of the time I try to sort of keep to myself. I don't know about anybody else.
I normally try and start early in the day and sort of get stuff done in the first sort of like 2 or 3 hours, and try and give myself an end time of, you know, maybe 6 or 7 o'clock. And, you know, in that last couple of hours, try and get ready for the next day, so you can get up and running quickly. And weekends, I take things a bit easier. Sunday, I will, you know, maybe not do hardly anything on the computer. So, you know, again, I might get a few bits ready, but I do like that break away from the screen, because you can just be sitting. I mean, I used to work in an office, and I used to think that was horrendous at a desk all day, you know, looking at, you know, whatever systems I was working on. And then I started doing eBay, and I found myself, you know, in my office, sitting at a desk, looking at a computer for longer than I ever had. And that just didn't make sense. So I think starting early is really, really good. If you can get up cracking and get a lot done, and try and try and earn your break. You know, don't put stuff off. You know,
Chris doesn't get out of bed until I've got up, made him a brew, brought it upstairs, and then he might get up at some point.
Well, that's fair enough, though. I have to have snacks brought to me whilst I work, and people have seen this on stream, like, you know, Kit Kats suddenly appearing from around the corner of the door or something.
Andrew, what were you going to say? You were going to chip in with something.
I just get drunk. Get drunk on a Friday night. Pretty much it.
Rocket fuel.
I'd quite like to add something. Obviously, I might not be a full-time reseller, but I have a full-time job regardless. And something that I would say works for me, which is slightly different to everyone, is fitness. I found that I used to go to the gym in the morning, and by going to the gym, even though they're closed at the moment, but that doesn't stop you from going for a jog. You know, Pete, he can actually probably vouch for this. The days I reckon you go cycling in the morning, you drop your lad off to the school, or when you walk through the park, I bet your motivation and your endorphins, you just feel more alive, and you just want to kind of do more and be more active. And for myself personally, I find that I just got that right head. I feel more focused. And just by doing that routine, that can then allow me to propel my better days personally. I think as like reselling, it is structure's key. And for me, the mistake I made when I first did this was I would list until midnight. So structure, but also having fitness as well, I think is something I would say that's really helpful. Helps you mentally as well.
That kind of falls in with what Peter was saying, where he found himself at the beginning constantly sat in a chair staring at a screen, and like you said, that's not good motivationally wise for anybody, is it?
No.
And especially like some days I've seen Chris do the same, but come away and go, I have no idea what I've done today, because he's like, it's not been a productive time while he's been sat there. So if you found a way to
watch YouTube.
Shut up. If you found a way of making yourself be more productive just by getting up and doing a bit of exercise, then that's great.
Peter Ray's in. Hi, Peter.
Hello.
Hi, Peter.
Welcome. Do you remember, I don't know if you might have seen it, but the first day I went full-time reselling, I did this vlog, and I'm like, right, I'm going to go out for a run every day in the morning. And then I'm going to come in and get reset. And that lasted about 4 days. And then I just could not be arsed with the running bit.
Were you doing that zombie thing where you get chased by zombies?
I downloaded that the zombie run app. And it was really good. It was like, there's zombies coming. No, it didn't last long.
It's funny though, because even if you don't keep your running up, if you can set an easy goal, easy goals are good to stick to. So, I always go on about try and get stuff done early and get a few listings on early in the morning. That sets you up for the day. But the moment, I've got my boys are doing homeschooling and they're at a computer like from 9 o'clock up until 4 o'clock. And I make a point that they have a break at 10. So I'll be sitting with them for like 10, 15 minutes, having a bit of fruit and a biscuit or something. And then at 12 o'clock, we'll just go for a walk just around the block. And it takes about half an hour. So it's not a run or anything, but it is just getting out half hour, walk around the block. We did it today, even though it was absolutely freezing cold. And it's just getting out in the air. It's nothing better than just getting outside and make sure if you can do it every day. Yeah, a bit of fresh air,
Can I just chip in? Because there was a question ages ago. Leanna's asked Kieran, where in the UK are you based?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in the West Midlands, Staffordshire.
West Midlands. There we go.
West Mids.
I've been holding off moving the chat because I'm like, I need to ask Kieran this question.
Peter Wray, how's your day been? Are you getting much listed?
Yeah, not been too bad today, really. Had a few good sales and a few bits listed. We're just working through the backlog, really.
Are you getting through your Vault vintage stuff?
Yeah, I've got that to do. It's all been sorted out and all been washed and sort of that sort of thing. But it's in the process. And as I do, I sort of like work on one thing, forget, and then think, oh, I've got that to do, and then I've got that to do. It's like a lot of people in the chat might know. I've got about 100 VHS tapes for list, and they've been sitting there since like 1st of June. But yeah, I'll get through it as soon as I can. I've got some decent stuff in there, and some American football jerseys, and I think one baseball one to do, and yeah, just plowing through really.
Yeah, good. Were you pleased with the clothing stuff that you picked up?
Yeah, it was pretty decent actually, because obviously I went through it quickly when I did the video, and then I went through it again, and then quickly went through it another time, and then I quadrupled going through it. There was one item that I wasn't pleased about, but about 85-90% I was quite pleased with what I got. So, and obviously double my money, so I'm happy with that.
Question for you, Peter, from Bailey. Are you full time?
No, not at the moment. Just part time, and that's how at the moment I like to sort of keep it part time. Doing well, I'll probably do about at least. I'll try and do 3 or 4 hours reselling a day, whether it's listing, photographing, cleaning items, checking out prices, sourcing online, which is obviously at the moment that's all we can do. Yeah, but I will try and do 3 or 4 hours of something. Depends whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, evening. It doesn't matter when I do it.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Cool. Looks like we've got a couple of people that are near Kieran. We've got Mandy428 who says they're in Staffordshire, and Tori says she's in Shropshire.
Fellow West Midlanders. So stay off my bundles.
At least we haven't got anyone from Wrexham here because that's not allowed.
That's the thing when you
live in Mould.
Can't have anyone near North
like
Wales.
15 minutes from Wrexham.
No, Wrexham's definitely not allowed. Not a place to go. No charity shops here whatsoever.
What?
Or car boots. Nothing.
Stay
it's
away.
funny when you get to know resellers sort of near you, and like when if I go to a car boot, then it'll be like, oh, Pete will know this. It might be about 4 other resellers I know. And if you haven't found anything and they come up to you and go, look what I found, and you get all this stuff, you're like, man, and you can't get away from the kind of envy of it sometimes. You're pleased for them, obviously, for finding bits, but it's like, I wish I didn't know, because when I used to go to boot fairs 2-3 years ago, I wouldn't have a clue what anyone else gets. But now people tend to come up and go, oh, Pete, look what I got. And I'm like, great. It's fantastic.
Quickly, just throw a comment up there. That is hilarious. I love this.
Work have suggested that we should commute to our desk at home, as in go out for 10 minutes before work. It's meant to be good for our mental health. I don't think it's an unusual thing to suggest. I think it's a fair thing to suggest.
I'd agree. I think it just falls under what I was saying with you. It doesn't matter what exercise it is. It's my missus at the moment, she's a full-time teacher, and I think the biggest thing that she's struggling with is that we live close to the Lake Districts, and she goes there every single weekend on a Saturday, and she'll just go and walk. And I can see that impact that it does, and that's just walking. You know, you don't have to run or lift weights. You know, walking and breathing and seeing stuff is so good for your mental health. And God knows what she does. 35 kids in a classroom screaming at her all the time. So fair play to her.
Yeah, no chance. JR, we needed to ask you actually. What does a JR stand for, and is it linked to your name?
Yes. Yeah. So James is my name, and then Rawlinson's my surname. So JR came from it. But
who do we need to win? Who won in the chat then, and what your name was? So I guessing your name when you had gone before.
I definitely tossed and turned about different names, but the reselling kind of comes from George Ross, who I kind of binge watch because he's retro reselling, and then JR I liked because I initially when I was doing it, I was selling a lot of wrestling stuff and all sorts. So I was thinking, and I also like Lord of the Rings, obviously J.R. Tolkien. So I was thinking it's quite a clever reselling. It's using my initials, but also when I sell Lord of the Rings stuff or movie props or wrestling figures, it's all JR related. It's not Dallas related. Obviously, I could go older, but we won't go there.
Start selling cowboy hats.
Yeah, we had somebody in comment. What was the JR? The JR for the fly fishing.
Oh yeah,
JR Hartley. It's JR Hartley.
Right, chaps, I've got to disappear. I've got to get back home. But thank you for having me, Chris.
No problem. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew.
See you later. Take care.
Yeah, mate. Again.
Katan says my second video won't be out for a month. Is the second part of my Saeed North vintage. It's a bale. I wasn't happy with it. I had a bed cover shoved in mine. I was fuming, but right, Jesus.
Have you done a blind close bundle yet, Chris? Or
I've done quite a few blinds. There's one particular video where it is shocking. I had a load of T-shirts that were absolute trash. They were just rubbish.
Half your money back, didn't you?
And yeah, I sent them back basically. Sent them back. It was poor.
Which makes me laugh there because Aaron Tibbetts put all of these clothes hauls still hasn't convinced me to sell clothes.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah, I laughed at that.
Exactly
The bad videos coming out aren't going to help then, are they?
I'm with Aaron. I agree because all it makes me think is you lot all get on your clothes and I'll get on my consoles. Thanks, guys.
I've got these.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say I got these suits. 2 of them are brand new with tags. Like should be easy sells. Next suits. And I still haven't listed them. I just cannot be bothered selling clothing. It's just not worth the hassle.
Everybody says that, so you start selling clothing and see what income that you can bring in.
There is some good profit. There is.
Andrew swore blind for ages he would never ever sell clothing.
He did.
And now look at him. He's got bloody racks of the stuff.
What was he selling before? Like games?
Media. Like,
yeah.
You know, like low value DVDs and Blu-rays and
that's kind of like clothes and media. Well, I used to do clothes like years ago, but I kind of went off it because just sourcing it around here was too expensive. Not even thinking about wholesale really. But media, again, I haven't touched for years. Used to make maybe the odd box set or whatever, but I always very much like electronics is my thing. But now it's amazing how you can change.
Definitely.
Yeah, but we do kind of say, don't you? You have to sort of list stuff that interests you as well, or it can become very boring very, very quickly. Yeah. Because we know from following Jason T. Smith that you can make a lot of money out of flipping CDs. He makes so much money out of flipping CDs; it's unreal. But even knowing that, I've never picked a CD up in my life.
No, it's. I find it difficult to get into. It's one of them where you've really got to sort of. If you're in a charity shop, you've got to plonk yourself in front of the CD rack, go through them all until you start recognizing what's good and what's not. You've literally got to, have a look at them all, scan them all, and you probably will find some good stuff. But it's then you've got to ignore other stuff if you're going to do that. The time it will take.
I think I think the reason why I agree with you that clothing is so much more profitable is because it's how little you pay and what you can make on it at the end of the day. And I totally understand why that, from a full-time point of view, it's so much more readily available. And because of that, it's so much doable. So as an example, in Lancaster, whereabouts I am, there's a charity shop on the high street where every single item is £1. And if I was doing clothing retailing, that's a suit for £1. That's a maxi dress for £1. That's brand new stiletto heels for £1. Like, what, you could just buy clothes in there and just go into that one shop every day, and you'd be able to make enough, as long as you obviously like brands.
Yeah, so different from down here. I mean, you go in there and the cheapest thing is probably about a tenner. So
I think the thing with clothing is, like, Chris picks certain genres because he stays well away from like high street brands because there's just so much of it. You'd have to, you aren't going to have a big profit margin in selling stuff like that. But there are people that do just sell clothing regardless. So you've sort of picked and chose the items that he's learned over time that sell best. That's why he goes for like his American football shirts and and his gig t-shirts and things like that, because I mean, I've been listing gig t-shirts for him for the last couple of days, and there's not been any really that have gone up for under 20 quid. Because they're normally one-off t-shirts that have been sold at a gig, and then people want them for memorabilia for later on. And I mean, we've put one up. Oh, you will be putting one up tomorrow, won't you? That Elton John one. Somebody ripped the sleeves off it, ripped the arms off it to make it into a tank top. And even with that done to it, it was still going to be putting it up for 70 quid. Yeah,
I sold a Kanye West one that I got from a jumble sale, and that went for like 60 or 70 quid. Yeah. It was 50p pickup. And I didn't really know what it was when I bought it. But I was just like, yeah, okay, I'll have that. So,
I mean, sadly, if it had had the sleeves on it, they're selling for 150 quid, but somebody pulled the sleeves. The arms off it.
Just sew some sleeves on.
Harry Loomis New and News says, I'm from the US. What is rubbish? Rubbish is trash. Garbage, whatever. That kind of thing. Put it in the bin.
Let's not get into this. We have this all the time, don't we? And then before we know it, we're explaining what cookies are.
Oh yeah.
What's tinfoil?
The doing a lot of RA.
What's what?
Are you doing a lot of RA, retail arbitrage, at the moment?
We do. Probably not that much at the minute, because kind of the vintage clothing stuff has sort of taken over a bit more from that. But like when sales are on, like January sales and TK Maxx mega sales and stuff.
Savvy stuff not that long ago.
Yeah, sometimes it all depends. If there's deals on and sales, then I will pick stuff up. But probably not as much as what I used to at the minute.
Do you know one of the big places, and we haven't done it for a while, but the Disney store, when the Disney store used to have sales on, they were fantastic. If you could get it in like the 75% off and stuff like that, the markup on them was amazing.
It's a really good shout, to be fair. I've just sold, I had a free Disney mugs that I picked up from the charity shop in September. It was like a Oogie Boogie, Jack Skeleton and Sally. I bought them all for £3, and Oogie Boogie and Sally sold for £50 each from £3, and Jack sold for like 35. It's just insane. And they were I think on the bottom it said original Disney store, so you could only get them in a Disney store. It's just incredible.
Anything from Nightmare Before Christmas sells really, really well. Really well.
I had a funny story with a Disney cup. Same thing, Disney store logo. I knew sold relatively well because I'm on a Disney selling page. But I listed one of my mugs for like £30. It was one I wanted to sell. And I thought, while I'm here, I have two favourite cups. They're like some Stitch mugs. I drink my coffee out of them every morning. I thought I'd go and check what they're worth. One of them's 95 quid, sold at £95. And the other one's 120 listed and no solds. And I'm just like...
It's not my favourite cup no more.
Yeah, that's going straight on eBay. Start drinking out a Tesco pound one.
Someone said in the chat that you get a lot of returns with clothes, but I'm with Tori. I don't tend to get a lot of returns. Touch wood. I had 3 returns over the Christmas period, and since then I've not actually had a return. So I don't seem to get a lot of returns. I think if you describe everything correctly. You put your measurements in. Even like I said to Annabelle, because we were talking about some jeans that had really weird sizing on them. They were like
G-Star Raw ones.
G-Star
They had like
Raw.
their own sizing on it. It didn't equivalate to anything that I could understand in normal measurements.
So I said, right, if somebody buys this, before I ship them, I'm going to ask them if they understand the sizing. So to try and avoid a return if it's wrong, because it might say like it's a small, but the sizing doesn't relate to a small. So it's really weird sizing. But that's the kind of thing I tend to do that is if I think there could be an issue with something like a size, I will send a message before I ship just to check.
Yeah, I do that on not on clothes, but on anything I'm selling spares and repairs. We'll always sort of say, you do know it's actually spares and repairs. And quite a few times people say, oh, no, I didn't notice that. And you get a cancelled sale, which is a bit of a pain, but a hell of a lot less of a pain.
It is. It's a lot less of a pain than a return, because also there's always that thing in your head about our returns. When you've got an open return, does it affect your sales, and does it affect how you're appearing on search results? And I'm convinced that it does affect you in some way.
Oh, it does. If you've got open returns, it definitely will do. It's when I will always try and close them off as quickly as possible. If something comes back and fair enough, it'll get refunded. So I don't hang about with that at all, because it does affect you.
No, it sounds daft, guys, but anything that spares and repairs are faulty on my photo, I just have the word faulty right through the first photo, because I'm not trying to get someone out or catch the wrong person. I'm purposely wanting a guy who can repair it or work on it for the shell or something. So my first photo is just fault or spares and repairs, and it just says it in bold. I just think
pretty good idea.
And by doing that, I've never ever since August doing it, and I must have sold over 200 Xboxes with red lights or DVD players that don't work. I've never had a return once.
Just imagine if you've got someone, I didn't see that.
But that's why I argue it. I make it so idiot proof that even that idiot could understand it. And then I still message them saying, do you understand it's faulty?
Oh,
so I overdo it.
It's much better to do that than have to go through the returns process.
But I mean, you did that with that robot dog, didn't you? That was faulty and didn't work, and clearly put it in the description. And you ended up with a load of to and fro emails from somebody who'd bought it, but then wanted money knocking off because it didn't work, and they'd not even sent it out. And it's like, but you've bought it knowing that it doesn't work because I clearly said it doesn't work. And then
some chances, isn't there?
Oh no! Also, they asked me about that robot dog, and they said, how much does it not work? Can you get a leg moving? Will it do anything? What's it? And it's like, oh, it doesn't. Fuck it. Just take it that it doesn't work. That's what I'm saying. Peter, do you reckon you'll carry on with clothing? Or Peter Ray, sorry, will you carry on with clothing now that you've dipped your toe a bit more into it?
Yeah, I've always kind of dipped my toe into clothing a small way, but always. Looking up for clothing, like bundles or any type, really, whether it's kids, men's, women's, doesn't matter what it is. Like, obviously, as you may not know, I live down south, so not far from London, and not far from Pete, the Vinegar Jar. So obviously, a lot of things at the charity shops, etc., are quite expensive clothing-wise. But you always have to just focus your mind and look through, like, for example, band t-shirts, or if you can find that good designer brand, because obviously there's the odd place that will do like deals and have sales and stuff, and then obviously I go around a lot of jumble trails and car boots. I'm always looking up for the clothing, even though there's a lot of people who delve in, but it's still, I have found some really good stuff, because I went to quite a few beginning of last year, went to quite a few jumble sales, quite a rarity these days, but obviously, got some really good clothing there, but always looked into it. So, and obviously I will keep on doing the clothing, and it's just part of the parcel. You've got to earn or learn while you earn. The saying is, you've got to do.
You do realise Chris will have that on a mug now.
No, it's a good.
Chris will have that on his next merch. Learn while you earn.
Learn while you earn.
Yeah, it's a cracker.
They're linking now.
Here's a question for you lot from Harry Loomis. He says, what is the best way to sell all over the world? What does everyone do?
I used to do GSP, and then I started doing my own mailing around the world. And when pandemic struck, I went back to GSP because so many things were sort of being cancelled. So I think I flipped to doing my own because Z was talking about doing it quite a lot and how much cheaper it can be for like a large letter. So it can be a lot cheaper. But if you do GSP, I think Lee Cola Flipper originally came up with this. If you put your dimension sizes, if you know roughly, and your weight in the listing, the GSP price it quotes the buyer will be lower than if you're leaving it blank. So that's always worth doing. But I do GSP.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. For me, it's probability of the hassle of the return, and knowing that it only has to get to that shipping point, and then from then onwards, it's their responsibility, because there is always that coin flip of whether or not that particular person's going to go, oh, it hasn't arrived, and I know that that's a safety net that I'm instantly avoided. I know that I never have to pay extra for postage because I know it's going to get to that destination. So to me, it's a no-brainer. To me, I'm happy. I'm very grateful that I'm on a platform that I can sell outside the UK.
Good point.
But I'm also aware that financially I can make enough money selling my particular products that I sell just UK based anyway. So to me, it's not worth that stress. And even when I go full time, I don't think I'll ever do it separately, just because I want to minimize the amount of like people going, it hasn't arrived.
Yeah.
You know, it happened over Christmas, and I remember someone messaging me Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve, saying, "Oh, my item hasn't arrived," and I sent it 20 days ago, and my message just politely said, "There's no way I'm gonna ring eBay or do anything. I'll just issue a full refund." I was like, "It's Christmas Eve. I've got a Bailey's in my hand. I've got more exciting things to do than sort that out." There's your £20.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyone else want to chip in on that?
I'm exactly.
I just do GSP. Yeah, I've been doing GSP for a couple of years, and it suits me. Just as I say, send it to a shipping center and let them deal with it, and then obviously it gets tracked through shipping center all through. I've seen it all over the world. So yeah, I'm not really had anything bad to say about GSP really.
No, I mean it is more expensive for the buyer. That's without doubt. Whatever,
definitely.
Way you look at it, it's more expensive for the buyer.
Yeah.
But also, it's very, very fast. There are benefits, and sometimes when people ask me, about shipping international, like when a buyer contacts you and said, "How much will it be?" and "Do you use GSP?" and all this, I do tend to point out the benefits of GSP. Like it covers both you and me. We'll both be covered. It's super fast shipping. It's like Priority International or something like that. And anything goes wrong, it gets lost, you'll get an immediate refund from eBay. There'll be no messing about. So I kind of point out the benefits. But what I have on my listing, I have everything on GSP, but also I have a paragraph on my every listing that says if you don't want GSP, contact me and I'll give you a separate price. And I probably get about 1 or 2 people a week asking me for prices, and more often than not, because I always quote a tracked price anyway. Like when I go on Royal Mail, I'll always ask for the tracked price. More often than not, they don't bother anyway because they just still think it's too much money.
And sometimes, depending on how much they're spending, you have come to agreements where you've given them the item for less to incorporate the extra cost it's gonna be to send it and for them to get it as well. So there's ways around it. Chris Brixham has put here, managed payments is a nightmare with returns. It delays further payments if it's not sorted quickly. Is that correct?
I've not really found major issues on that, to be honest with you. I just go through the returns process as you normally would, and I've not really found it to be that different as yet.
Dave says he's stopped doing worldwide for now.
Dave repairs.
Oh, right.
I think Dave repairs. I think if I can understand if you wanted to stop doing sort of your own international worldwide, but I don't see any reason why you wouldn't just have GSP switched on, because if there's certain issues with certain countries, GSP just knock the country off anyway, and they won't let people in that country see your listing if there's an issue in the country. You know, like if the coronavirus was particularly bad and it was affecting services, they will just knock it off. So I don't think I think if you don't want the hassle and that, you know, there's no reason really not to have GSP on as a minimum.
I think most people are saying that they tend to do GSP. Buy, sells, trade, repeat says they only do UK. Too many people they know have had problems with items overseas. The Dave says Great Britain going solar was buggered it up for us all for selling further afield.
Yeah, it has caused problems, doesn't it? It's 20% and whatnot.
I have a question to ask regarding GSP. If someone messages you who isn't sending you a message UK, as in, I don't know, something Italian, let's say, and you don't understand a word whatsoever, what do you do in that situation? So what I have been doing is I've not used Google Translator because I'm not Italian, and plus what I don't know goes on there might be read incorrectly. I just say to them, if it's regarding your order, please do contact eBay, because the shipping, for instance, if it's on its way to them, I'll say you'll need to speak to them regarding the tracking. But what would you do if someone sends you a message? Do you take the time to translate it?
Yeah.
And then how do you go about it?
I always translate it using Google Translate, so that firstly I can understand what they're asking me, and then secondly, sometimes I will even go as far as writing a reply and then translating it back to their language and then send it back again, or even put it in English and in their own language and send it back. It seems to work fine, to be fair. It's pretty accurate, or it seems to be fairly accurate. But that's what I do. I don't know. It's a good question, though. Yeah.
TK says that he doesn't use GSP. He said GSP is too expensive for the buyer. The less than 1% problem is not worth considering. Ship it yourself.
No, I'll stick with GSP.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand where he's coming from, and when I sell these cushion covers, right? These custom cushion covers. You might have seen them on certain things, and they will actually go as large letter. So when I first started selling them, I used to do large letter international. It was like, say, to the States, maybe a $5 or something like that. Large letter international. I can't remember now, but it's about a $5. But I didn't do it tracked because it adds quite a bit onto the price to have it tracked. So I just used to do it international, and I had 3 in a row allegedly not arrive. So I had to refund 3 times. And at that point, I decided not to bother with the international, and I turned GSP back on everything, including the cushion covers, because the price on them anyway wasn't massively more than what it would have been tracked. It was one of them. It was only a couple of pounds difference.
Dave says he's turned off GSP as with the Europe changes. He just wanted to see how it goes.
Fair enough.
As the importing's obviously a lot more expensive. I was just, where is it then? The Dave has put, he lived abroad for 20 years, and as friends who are still in Europe, they say they won't sell or buy to the UK as prices have gone crazy, and the paperwork with the companies I buy from have stopped shipping to the UK too. But the thing is, if the option's there, then it's up to people whether they buy it or not, isn't it? It's you're kind of narrowing your field down if you keep it UK only.
I think a lot of that's, just more that it needs to be negotiated. It's such early days.
I don't think this will be the final thing. No. I think this is just because we've just moved over into this new era, and I think that stuff like this will come to light, and there'll have to be like negotiations, otherwise it will kill a lot of trade. So I think they'll line it out in some way or another.
100%. And we've traded longer as a country not being part of the European Union than we have been. So at the end of the day, we've existed prior. So I think it'll just be better agreements, and hopefully we can get that sorted. And hopefully, it sounds weird, but hopefully COVID will be a positive thing for that, because the amount of things that must be getting transported, like the vaccines that we're getting at the moment, through the countries, surely we can say, look, there's a bit more important things going on. We need to make sure we're getting good deals for each other. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Huskies Emporium have said in terms of the Google, they use the Google Translate, and it appears to be close enough.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good. That I'd do that if I were you in future, because you might be missing out on something important. Questions.
Thanks, guys.
There was a woman in the post office today sending items to America, Spain, and Germany. She had about 8 items and had to fill out a form for every one of them.
It takes ages, doesn't it? It pays to have some of those forms, like the international ones, like so that you can do it before you get there.
It's all got to be done in black ink, and you get one thing wrong and you've had it. There's progress for you.
If you had to guess on how many of your sales were abroad, what percentage would you say?
Probably 2 or 3, maybe less than 5%.
When we used to have
mine as well, probably less than 5. Yeah,
you reckon? When we used to have PayPal reports before managed payments, you used to get a monthly report, didn't you? And it told you what your percentage was of international. Yeah. And I think mine was pretty much standard 10%. Like 1 in 10 parcels went international. It's probably still the same. I know last week I had a day when I posted 20 and 4 or 5 of them were going GSP. So people still happy to use it.
Yeah.
I imagine it depends on what you're selling as well, because I have a lot of GSP for video games. I would say I'm more 10 to 15%. And then also what goes GSP a lot for me is hi-fi systems and stereo system and Technic systems all the time. Yeah. Especially like Italy. Italians seem to love that stuff. Like they just lap it up.
I seem to send a lot of stuff to Germany for some reason. I don't know why.
But you can't beat the cover on it, though. I mean, I think it was about a year or 2 ago, but I had a £200 sale to, I think it was Spain. It might have been Italy. And it got broken. And, I was like, oh, God, here we go. But it was all covered. The buyer had to put in a case and everything. And I sort of like followed it through and then rang eBay at the right time. And they just said, yeah, GSP covered. I don't know if it's still that easy now because this was early days of GSP, but it was such a relief because £200 sale is £200 sale, and you don't want to lose that.
No.
If I'd have sent that direct, I'd have had it, but GSP absolutely covered, so it's brilliant.
I mean, looking at what people are saying, I think between the 5 and 10% seems to be the average of what people are sort of sending abroad.
Buy, sell, trade, repeat says, due to current events with the virus and companies being forced to close stores, how do you see the high street going? A lot of us use it for charity shop sales or retail arbitrage, and I don't see it lasting long. I definitely think a lot of shops are going to shut down, aren't they? A lot will shut down. But then others will
new
take
businesses reopen. Yeah.
Exactly. Others will take that.
That's why if as a limited company, if these shops are limited companies, it's the company that goes bankrupt. And as a guy who sells business insurance every single day, people will just put it in their wife's name or they'll put it in their cousin's name. You'll be surprised what happens, and people just restart it. There's government grants that exist. The government will just reintroduce new grants for new businesses. The high street isn't going anywhere. I promise you. There's no physical way. It'll just change. There might be more betting shops and maybe more charity shops.
Well, I think the way it's gone over the last sort of like 5-10 years, it is full of like betting shops, coffee shops, places to get your nails done, pound shops. So for actual going and buying stuff, that I think that will decrease, and stuff like that will just be more and more online. So I think 10 years ago, I could walk down my local high street and it'll be like quite good to go down and see the range of stuff I could buy. Now it's just I go down there, it's depressing because it's just like, why are there 4 coffee shops here? And I don't want to get my nails done. So I think it will change like that. places to go to kill time, really.
But I think the high streets have been dying way before COVID anyway, because there's
Oh,
always been this big thing about shop local, hasn't there? Because so many people buy online because it's so much cheaper.
Well,
the high streets can't compete anyway.
Yeah, I think, first you maybe got it 10 years ago with companies which were badly run. So like, Woolworths and shops like that. But more, the other ones, Maplin's that went, didn't it? And, the big chains that have been around for a long time. But now you see sort of like Debenhams going and all these sort of big department stores. And, probably it's more a case of them not being badly run, but it's just everyone. I mean, how many people 5 years had a Prime account? Not many. And now it would be, I don't know how many percent, but I would say the majority of people would have a Prime account. And if they want to get something, then their first thought is not, I'm going to walk down the local high street. It's like, I'm going to get it online because it's easier, it's cheaper, and it'll be here tomorrow. So, yeah, it will die, and it's probably in the death throes right now. And the pandemic.
More charity shops, probably. More charity shops.
Yeah. Maybe, but even those are closing.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I think you'll start getting like charity centres, like big warehouse ones.
We need some like what they have in the States, like Goodwill's, massive, great big shops.
Well, I think that's kind of what Kieran was saying. Then that's what it'll be. It'll just be giant warehouses full of the stock, won't it? Where you could just get to. Oh, that'd be like a reseller's dream.
That's what's just happened to me around the corner. There's massive distribution centre, and I didn't realise what it was. I've been passing it for absolutely days, dropping off my daughter to the childminders, and I put my ad up on Facebook saying looking for Wray. And the woman messaged me saying, "Oh, we've got loads of stuff for Wray stuff. We don't know what to do with it." So I went and see it, and it's a big distribution centre. So I every 2 weeks at the moment, I'm going around there with £100, £150, and then I just have all their consoles untested. And I just pick them all up.
No,
and I said, I'm all untested. You don't have to pat test it. It's money in, money out. She's happy because basically they can't put it in the store at the moment. So if you have got a local distribution centre, I would recommend any reseller who's full-time to contact them, because they can only sell on their online stores, and there's too much for them to overwhelm. Because they're still going into people's homes and doing clearances. Yeah, and that's still happening. And they're literally just overwhelmed at the moment. So that's why I was shocked that everyone keeps buying all these clothing things from that. And where do you think these clothes are coming from as well? That would be my other thing as well. A lot of it's probably coming from these centres. I would cut the middleman and try and bring your local massive distribution, Heartfound centres and stuff like that. But that one's a St. Is it St. John's? I forget. Well, they're all the same things to me. But they're amazing. They're amazing what they do. And but yeah, I was really lucky. I just knocked on, and I now message her on WhatsApp, and she just texts me saying, "I've got you £100 worth of bundles, and I'm spending 100, making £400, £500 now every time, guaranteed."
Oh, that's great.
But, nice. I mean, even pre-COVID, because Chris's last job was working for a local charity back where we were in Manchester. So they had a big distribution centre linked to that, and the amount of stock they used to get handed in on like a daily, weekly basis, they couldn't cope with just that coming in. So the fact that they now haven't got an outlet for it, people are, if anything, more people are clearing their houses out now because they've got more time to do it, and they're dumping it all at the charity shops. So they must be absolutely bursting with just amazing reselling opportunities.
Is that the place you couldn't buy it from, Chris? They wouldn't let you buy it?
Yeah, I wasn't allowed. I wasn't allowed because I work for them.
That is nuts.
It's nuts. It is nuts. It is nuts because
I couldn't work there. Do my head in.
They're basically like saying that they're going to pay me.
Ethical. Yeah,
they were saying it wasn't ethical, which was absolute bull, because I used to speak to the online team, and anything that because I did buy a few bits at the start, and then they told me, no, you can't do it anymore. But basically anything that I picked up in their warehouse, I always went on to the online team and said, do you want any of this stuff for the charity's eBay? And they'd look at it and say, oh, we'll take that. No, we don't want the rest. Right. And then I'd go to the manager of the warehouse and say, right, how much do you want for this? Because online don't want it. And they were telling me that wasn't ethical. So that wound me up, because at the end of the day, they were paying me a full-time wage and a good wage as well. Yeah. And I was prepared to give them some of my wage back.
I know.
For stuff that they got for free. It made no sense.
Well, it shot them in the foot, didn't it? Because then you also said that you wouldn't go and purchase anything from their stores because if they didn't think it was ethical that you bought it from the warehouse, it wasn't ethical that you bought it from the store.
It sounds like a job's worth managers, isn't it? That's what
it's just crazy. It was mental. And after that, it was like, right, I won't buy anything from any of our stores.
Wasn't there something about your integrity? And
they questioned my integrity, and that pissed me off.
Coming from being a cop for 13 years, and they dared question his integrity, and I was just like,
I had a right ding dong. But there you go.
I think when I first started doing reselling, a lot of people said that about charity shops in general. They were like, "What? You go into charity shops and you make profit from them?" And even I got questioned just by going into charity shops and making profit. And I just generally said to them, "But if I wasn't going in there spending £100 a week or £200 a week," I said, they're not paying anything for that. So it's money straight in their tills. And then I got to the point whereabouts I was like, let's just test the water. So Morecambe, which is probably my best pickup spot, I go there and I've told every last one of them what I do. And I spoke to all the managers and they bend over backwards for me. They're like, thank you so much. Thank you for telling us. They were like, we thought you were doing something like that. Right. Now we know you like that stock. Let's put a pile together and you can just have.
Exactly. And they'll do that. They'll do it because they all have targets. They might be a charity shop, but they have a target to meet as well. And they genuinely do. And they're very, very strict on targets in charities. You might think, oh, it's a charity. They'll be a bit namby-pamby. No, they're not. They're serious about targets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
really
definitely. And the thing is as well, that especially up north compared to down south, is I have the lady in the store and she'll have a handbag that's worth £200 and she says, I know I'm selling it for 30 because no one's going to pay 200 up north. No one has that money. She says, so I have to sell it at that price. So she says the fact that I go in there and I pay 35, an extra £5, she's like, I'm like, this is worth 200. She's like, I know, but I can't sell it for that. So I'd rather have 35 quid in my till because it doesn't cost me anything.
I think the reality is, right, if resellers stop going in charity shops, can you imagine what they'd have left in the till at the end of the week?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, because your average person probably goes in and spends, what, £5-10, if that, on buying a couple of items. They're not going to go in and buy a bulk load like we do.
But resellers are in and out all day long into charity shops, all day long, much more than what you can imagine.
And that's the other thing. I mean, down here, the prices have gone basically to online prices almost everywhere. And you know, you do have, I guess it's sort of like spreading, but you get teams who will look up prices online, but then set the price in the shop to an online price. So they're hoping that, you know, instead of the one person who wants that looking on eBay and you know, hitting an audience of millions, that they're going to be walking down the local high street and going to that charity shop and buy that Lego kit for like 50 quid. So it is, you know, charity shops are very, you know, to get those kind of contacts that you've obviously got with the managers and for them to understand where you're coming from is great, because I mean, it's great for them to get that guaranteed sale, isn't it? And that regular business.
Yeah, because I mean, what's the alternative option? How many times do you walk in and out of a charity shop for weeks and see the same thing sat on the shelf because either nobody wants to pay the price because it's way too high for a charity shop, or it's just a bit of tat that you're not interested in.
I've said before that I've been down my local charity shops and I go in there and the stuff that's caught my eye is the stuff that I donated 3 months ago. And I'm like, this is the best stuff in the shop and it's still here. So it is bonkers. I've got to shoot, Chris.
Okay.
So thanks for having us on.
No worries. Thanks, Peter.
Take care.
We're gonna be done in a few minutes.
Yeah, I think we need to.
Thank you, sir, Pete. Pleasure to speak to you.
Cheers.
See you later.
And then there was 4. Here we go.
Yeah, I think we need to start wrapping up. It's getting to bedtime.
I know. We'll run for till 2 hours and then we'll call it a day. Catan says there was a point that charity shops were in big danger of closing down, so we've saved them from this. Yeah, probably have. It's a massive trend for the general public and resellers to buy from there now. Yeah, there's more people really charity shopping than ever. You know, it's
not taboo anymore, is it?
Yeah,
it used to be.
Taboo,
it used to be
it?
Such a taboo thing to go in a charity shop to buy second hand.
When I was young, I wouldn't have been seen dead in a charity shop. I would not. Before I was reselling, I would not have walked in one.
I was going to say, when he says when he was young, he's lying. Literally,
Just a couple of years
up
ago,
until the last 2 years, he still wouldn't have been seen dead.
I think one of my success stories with charity shops as well that I'd share is that those that, you know, when you get independent charity shops that are on your high street, they're the ones that you really want to introduce yourself with. So there's one that's in, I use the word Morecambe, so like as if you guys always shop there. But there's one which is for animal rescue, and he does it himself, and he does it for like the Alaskan wolves and that, and the dogs. And he is not a big franchise. He literally does it because that's what he's passionate about. He wants to make money from. So when I introduced myself to him, he couldn't bend over backwards. He was like, mate, you're going to come in and give me £100 every week. Like, and he's like, the game stuff is yours before it comes out. And
Nice.
That's something I would say as well, is that if you have got independent charity shops as well, do introduce yourself and try and be the first one to do it. And I'd like the JFJ for me is now going to open even more doors, because I can just say, I'll have all your discs, scratched or not.
You don't even need to check them, do you? Yeah, it's great that. There's quite a few people picked up those Easy Pro things. It's not something I would do because I don't do enough of that kind of media anymore. I don't do any. I do some games, but I don't do a lot.
You just keep sending them to John at YLM. Anyway.
I do, yeah. John at YLM does.
We've got him in business.
So I'm gutted. I ordered one of them JFJs direct from the manufacturer, like in the US. 5 to 6 business days shipping. It was cheaper than Amazon at the time. I ordered it on the 20th. It's still not here, and Amazon have sold them now at less than that, like just under 200 quid, and they've sold out again.
Oh,
yeah, sorry, that was me. I bought one. Actually, that's in my most recent video.
While I've got some knowledge here, I'm going to show you an item that I can't find a price for. I want to see if you guys can help me. And the chat it's quite unique item, still quite cool, very gamey though. So
you've got everybody getting all excited in the chat now. They're like, "Ooh, what is it?"
So as best as I can, it's a PlayStation joystick control analog thing.
Yeah.
Any ideas? Show the sides.
It's big, isn't it?
That's unusual.
Massive.
It's a monster, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's nice thing. Yeah.
My tip would be. First of all, obviously just check recently listed or sold, but if there's nothing on there, my friend, you may as well aim high.
Yeah.
You're going to get a good price.
You're going to get a good price. I'm instantly looking at that and thinking minimum just whack a 299 on it.
Really?
You know, put it on for these for 100%. Because then you'll see if you allow all offers where people will come in at. So I had a stereo that I picked up from a car boot sale in summer, and I listed it at 400. And I thought I'd be lucky to get 50 quid for it. But it's interesting to see where people come in with their offers, and you can judge where the price is. And that's always a clever way of finding out where your market is. And I think I got an offer for 299, and I was like, right, I have got it about right. And I dropped it down 50 quid, and it sold the week after. So just use the audience to tell you what price that wants to be, and then allow offers.
I tend to do that if I do research and I can't find anything. I did it with a coat that I got last week, a 2-pack coat. There's absolutely nothing that I could find anywhere, so I put a stupid price on it. I put 150 quid on it, and we'll just see if we get any offers.
Well, you've got Catan said you've got to at least put it for 200 plus. So, did you have did you have a price in mind that you were kind of looking at?
When I was purchasing the bundle it came in, I priced it at 75 in my head. I was like, I've never seen one. I've never seen one.
Monster, though, isn't it?
And I wonder what they are. Say again, sorry.
It's a monster, isn't it? It's a proper chunky thing.
I think it's like
to me, the reason why I would go for the higher price is because it looks like it's more aimed at the gamers, because it's the joystick and the controllers. Think of PlayStation and Tekken. You've got Tekken players and stuff like that probably play it professionally. That would be right up their street.
Well, someone's put on here, Dudseth has said, it's for Armored Core series of games. It's very, very rare, boxed and complete. Is it complete?
I haven't got it out yet. It's been sat on my landing for about 4 weeks. It's just been in the death pile.
Dave Repair says that one's listed for $83.99, but without a box. So.
And just we know from experience, just having a box can make a massive difference.
Oh God, yeah, it will make a massive difference to gamers.
So, well, like I said, there's one sold for $79.99 sold, but like I said, without a box. That wasn't there the other week, so that must have not been up very long. So,
That sounds like maybe they priced it too cheap. Then I would I'd aim high with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
2,999.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
2,999. Just put loads of nines on it. They look really nice.
Yeah.
I'll let you all know when it sells.
Yeah, do. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know that. It's great. Melissa
Well,
said I'd say 150.
Queenie Conquest said, was it purchased from Sony? What does the sticker on the side say?
CEQ. I think it's just a barcode sticker.
All right, so it doesn't. It's not like a sale sticker or anything.
No, it's official Sony. There's a $49.99 price tag, which was the original.
Did you go through and check Terra Peak? Did you check the history on it?
I don't have Terra Peak yet, so like I said,
okay.
I'm still on a standard sellers account. So
that might be worth checking. Should we check it now and have a look?
Yeah, you'll have to check see if it's got a model number on it, because sometimes these things right at the bottom have a specific model number. And then obviously if you can type in officially licensed Sony products or PlayStation 1, either in Google and type in a model number, and then sometimes it comes up with what it is, like via the pictures or via a website. So sometimes it's worth checking out, see if it's got a model number on the bottom or on the side of it, wherever it is.
Yeah, it's right on the box, to be fair. It's SCH. I'm going to try it now.
Hang on.
Yeah, SCH, yeah.
SCH, what?
SCHP-1110E.
Dave already put it in there.
Yeah, that's...
You put it in therapy?
No, Dave's put it, what it is on the chat.
Yeah, it seems like an earlier model. Yeah, if it's like the... Their numbers. Yeah, I've never seen one box though, but
no, can't find one boxed either.
That's what I'd say. I think because it's so unique and you're going to be the only one on eBay and people come in, someone's going to pay that money. You know, if I was a collector and I had lots of PlayStation memorabilia, that might just be someone's shelf. It just look really nice, and they've got money. A lot of collectors at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Apparently, tank game simulations.
Yeah, what I'm thinking as well, the reason why I'd go for $299 is that you think of up and coming Comic Cons when they reopen, someone would love to have that on their stall, and then they can put that for like $700, and someone in Comic Con's going to pay it. The amount of prices I've seen of stuff in Comic Cons is crazy.
Yeah, I just found one on Retro. I never thought of just putting the number into Google. I just use
Google it.
So one's on RetroGameKing.com in Europe for €120.
Okay.
Yeah.
So similar condition. Okay.
Maybe what Husky's saying there, the 1 to 150 is more the realistic sort of range.
Yeah.
Oh, if you want to sell it, yeah, 100%. If you want to sell it within the next couple of months, I'm just thinking if you're happy to have that because you already made your £70 on your bundle, that could be something that's just nice to sit there and you hold out for it, especially if you have offers, because then if you get a £200 offer, then snap it.
Yeah,
it was I paid $115 for a bundle. I got 2 PS2s, which one of them was boxed. I've just listed it for £50. That's the average sold price. One's a silver platinum edition one, a PS1 that came with that, and 42 PS3 games for $115.
That sounds pretty.
That's really good.
That's really good, isn't it?
But like I said, I priced that being the key money piece. Like, so.
That's fair play, man.
See how it goes.
Duds,
Makes sense in some of these.
I'd say the only thing that would deter collectors away is the box condition. They normally want a minty box more than anything.
Yeah, it's a bit bad. So
Yeah, that's anything I agree on, definitely. I think it was mint, then you could ask whatever you wanted, then you could put silly prices on.
Good point, Nigel. Have you tested it?
Say again, sorry?
Have you managed to test it? I know you said you're not even taking it out of the box, have you?
No, I know where it came from, and they told me it was working last time I used it last year. It's not like I've just bought it off a random seller, so I know where it came from. But no, I haven't tested it. That was tonight, but it's all gone a bit awry.
Yeah.
get it out tomorrow or something. I'm supposed
Yeah,
to.
get it out and give it a good test to make sure it actually works. I think we're done, aren't we?
I think we need to wrap up.
Yeah.
It's one of these where you guys can all stay on. I'm going to bed, so it's all good.
No, I'm going to bed as well. Yeah.
I've got to get the house ready. It's my wife's birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to go and put some banners up and some balloons for her.
Hey man, what are you doing on here then? You should be going blowing balloons up. That's way more important.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting asleep. I'm acting like I've forgotten. It's all a misdirection.
So we'll say thank you very much to everybody, including you guys who have come on live and chatted with us. Thank you, everyone. Peter, Ray, JR, that's James, and Kieran, and everyone else. I'll put everybody's link in the description to their channels once we're done, so that people can go and find you afterwards. And also thank you to the chat, of course. It's been really active. I think we were like almost at 140 at one point, which is pretty high for us. So that's good. I think that is it. What's next week? Is next week Q&A week? Next week's Q&A week.
I don't know.
Here it is. It's Q&A week, I think.
You're doing a live list tomorrow, did I see?
Yes, we are. Yeah. Well, I am. Sorry, not Annabelle. She's working. From 12 midday tomorrow, I'll just be live listing and stuff. Come list with me. 12 till probably about 4 or something.
I'll be making lunch and bringing snacks.
Yeah.
That's my role.
So yeah, if anyone wants to pop along, keep me company, then feel free from 12 o'clock tomorrow midday. And that is it. We are done.
All right. Cheers,
everyone.
guys.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Stay safe, everybody. See
Yeah.
you next week.
Bye.
Bye.